Marjorie Taylor Greene did a lot of dumb things this week. Let's review. First up, Margie has no idea where Ukraine is.
I've never seen Putin actually show in any detail his plans to invade Europe. No one has shown me that.
Okay, yes, Ukraine is in Europe, but guys, you can't be mad at her for this. We're still working on getting her to believe the Earth is round, and now you want her to know which countries are on which continents? We're working up to that. Then she followed that up by making a rap video to appeal to young people.
Marjorie, I really love what you do. Keep calling rhinos out, no one does it better than you, huh? A real businesswoman, AOC's a featherweight, a Southern belle, a little hood, watch her shake and bake.
It's a strategy that's worked for lots of people like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Lil Jon. I mean, if it worked so well for all of them, why wouldn't it work for Marjorie Taylor Greene? Then she handed the president a victory by criticizing him in a way that made him seem like the best president we've had in decades. Biden turned her words into a campaign ad for himself that's gotten hundreds of thousands of views. Well played, Margie. And then to wrap up a busy week, MTG showed naked pictures of Hunter Biden in a congressional hearing. Yep, the same woman who said this.
Here's what I found out this week. There is a website, you may or may not have heard about it, called Pornhub.
Apparently, since she couldn't find what she needed on Pornhub, she just brought her own. Looks like Trump's about to perform the rare indictment hat trick after a letter from special counsel Jack Smith says he's a target. But didn't we already know he was a target? All this individual number one BS breaks down when they're like, individual number one who had the temperament of a toddler right before nap time. Yeah, we didn't think that was Melania. Trump has been using the threat of another indictment to fundraise, saying, if they're coming for me, they're coming for you next. And if that's really your worry, that the government is coming after you, wouldn't you want to save your money for your own legal defense instead of giving it to Trump for his? Nope, that's not how things work apparently, because we live in crazy town. CNN had wall-to-wall coverage of Trump's impending indictment, which involved more sandwiches than you'd think.
Jack Smith can't resist a $5 footlong. That's according to what we see right there, new and exclusive CNN video of the special counsel at Subway.
Jack Smith going to Subway today is a message to Donald Trump.
Saw Jack Smith on the street today getting a sandwich at Subway in D.C., and he had nothing to say. And so we don't have much more than just watching that grand jury in and out.
Hello, Pulitzer Prize Committee? Yes, hi, I have some hard-hitting journalism that you have gotta see. While Jack Smith was carbo-loading for future courtroom appearances, Trump was busy making wild accusations. After cocaine was found in the White House, Trump accused Joe Biden of being a crackhead. This follows about 6 years of him complaining that Biden was barely conscious. So for more on this confusing turn of events, we've got our chief pharmacology correspondent, Jen Haston, with us. Jen, welcome.
Hi.
Now, Jen, what do you think about this claim that Biden is a crackhead?
Well, from a medical perspective, President Biden can't take cocaine. It'd kill him immediately.
See, that's what I thought.
But there are some other drugs he could take.
Oh, okay.
For example, if he wants a solution to the Ukraine war, he should try some shrooms for mental clarity.
I'm sorry, shrooms?
Uh-huh. And if he wants to ask FDR how to finish the job, there's always DMT.
Oh, God, that sounds terrifying.
And he could do his part to get fentanyl off the streets by taking some himself.
That would be incredibly dangerous.
And of course, being president is very stressful. So if he needs to take the edge off, black tar heroin should work just fine.
Wow, each of those mental pictures is scarier than the last. Thanks, Jen. I might call you later for a kilo of expertise.
Looking forward to it.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the Democratic Party's main man. If by main you mean his talking points sound like he's mainlining both steroids and hallucinogens, and by man you mean he's a cyborg composed of both Republican and Democrat DNA. Yes, our favorite anti-dad bod candidate seems to hold a weird brew of both MAGA-adjacent conspiracy theories and Democratic talking points. He thinks we should seal off the border, but he's for affirmative action? Most recently, he said the COVID virus was engineered to be ethnically targeted so it doesn't work well with Jews and Chinese. Incidentally, doesn't work well with Jews and Chinese was the old Fox News slogan. But now it looks like RFK Jr. has reached the "we don't agree with our family member" portion of the campaign as his sister denounced his remarks. We look forward to him definitely not getting elected, but saying some really crazy shit in the meantime. A U.S. soldier ran across the DMZ into North Korea. And if you're having the kind of day where running into North Korea sounds like a good idea, try day drinking. Day drinking will make you unable to run into North Korea, if you do it right. Day drinking, a slightly less bad decision. If there is one thing that Democrats and Republicans have always agreed on, it's the absolute necessity of a massively bloated defense budget. It's always stood as a symbol of our military readiness, as well as our readiness to bilk the U.S. taxpayer out of functioning social services. But now it's being held up because people might get abortions with like $300 of that money. The roadblock has forced the military to dramatically pare down their blowing stuff up for fun budget. NBC Universal is under fire for trimming trees that were providing shade to strikers. They're pleading innocent, claiming it was routine maintenance, and they've stated that next week's Pour Lava on the Sidewalk initiative is also routine maintenance. Happy Barbenheimer Day to all those who celebrate. That's right, people are buying tickets to see Oppenheimer and Barbie as a double feature. This is now the new gold standard for emotional whiplash, replacing the previous method of winning the lottery while finding out your girlfriend boned your brother. Ben Shapiro heard that the new Snow White was Latina, and surprise, surprise, he's got some concerns.
I mean, this is from the original 1936 Snow White. Skin as white as snow, right? That is literally in her name. That's why she has her name.
Do you think if we did a Breaking Bad remake with Idris Elba playing Walter White that we could make Ben Shapiro's head do this? New history standards in Florida suggest that slavery was great for slaves because they learned new things in the process. Yep, turns out the best way to learn a new life skill is to be violently separated from your family and then repeatedly beaten. You know, I was going to learn the violin, but I might hold off on that for now.
Sure is a scorcher this summer, and we here at the Fenix know what that's like. So we've got some tips to help you beat the heat. And here's an important one. When it comes to your AC, change that over to read in Celsius. Those numbers are way lower. Now it's very important to not just cool the outside of your body, but the inside. So what you need to do is store all of your dildos and fleshlights in the freezer. Very brisk. Here's an important one. You need to stay the hell away from anyone having a hot girl summer. Too much heat. Why don't you try wearing sunglasses? And you know, being aloof. That way you at least look cool. Hey, fake it till you make it, fam. Also very important is to always wear a hat while staying indoors. Oh, and keep your AC on full blast. Nudity is definitely going to be your friend. So remember, if your downstairs looks like a baby bird trying to poke its head out of a really big nest or a gorilla sticking its tongue out, well, that's trapped heat. You're going to want to shave it all. All. You can even try and revive that old nugget, the ice bucket challenge. But when in doubt, I always turn to Dr. Smith's Fenix brand cooling snake oil. It's the only snake oil guaranteed by the Friday Phoenix to solve whatever the hell your problem is, like being too hot.
The Hallmark Channel is announcing a Christmas cruise. And the way I understand it is when you board, you're given a unique job like a candle maker and a vegan baker, and somehow in this crazy world, you two kids work it out. Sources say if you don't fall in love and learn the true meaning of Christmas by the time you hit the first port, you get a full refund. That wraps up this week's episode. Check out our podcast, links in the description, and don't forget to subscribe.
Your efforts are valid, but I don't think you can step up to the challenge. Your efforts are valid, but I don't think you can step up to the challenge.